This week on the Unpopular Opinion Show.
That someone might get choked today. She wasn't very important to the group at all.
There's probably some truth there, but who knows? I don't know why he's mad at me. I don't know. Just me being me. You don't come for somebody's family, right? Like you don't come for people's family like that. Oh, I meant to shit on you.
The older she got, the more she took off. Her performance of it though sucked. She sounded terrible.
I think he looked at the first chick and felt like he could probably smash easier.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if he personally hit Candace Owens and her stanky
cray-cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Yes, y'all. What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Unpopular Opinion Show. I am T Storm, and as always, joined by my brother, the one and only DJ Mike Swift. What's happening, family?
Nothing much. So here's the thing. I am not the one, the only.
Oh,
there is
okay.
another DJ Mike Swift. Last check, he was in New Orleans on one of the radio stations out in New Orleans. How do I know this? Because when I set up my website, I would get people hitting me up for bookings all the time in New Orleans. And I was always sending messages like, yo, I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude. Seems like a great dude. I've never heard him play. Seems like a nice guy and all. So what's up to the other DJ Mike Swift out in the NO?
New Orleans, baby. What's happening there, folk? What's up there, Wody? I know, not folk is Atlanta. What's happening there? What's happening there, Wody? I learned folk. These are okay. So I've being in radio, I've moved to a few markets. Atlanta was one. Born and raised in New York City, but I spent time in Atlanta. I was in Pittsburgh, in Tampa Bay, Florida. What's up, them folks in Sarasota? What's happening? And Chicago. But I spent a lot of time, probably about the other half of my career was in Atlanta, right? And so I picked up all the slang and shit from Atlanta, right? And it's like it's second nature. So I got to Chicago, and I was Frankie Robinson. Shout out to my sister Frankie Robinson. What's up, Frankie? She was doing a live on Facebook one day from the station, right? We was at GCI, and she was doing a live. And she was introducing me. I was in the background on her live. She said, "Oh, that's T Storm. He's da-da-da-da. He's new here, da-da-da-da." And people on the live were messaging, "Hey, what's happening?" I said, "Hey, what's happening, folk?" And immediately the temper changed. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I started seeing these pitchforks go up. I'm like, what the hell did I just do?
Yeah.
And Frank was like, yeah. She was like, no.
There's some gangster shit out there.
Yes. She was like, no, he don't know. He knew here. Stop. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, what did I just say? I had to explain, hey, listen, I was in Atlanta for a long time. That's part of, but I get it now,
So it's certain parts of Atlanta, or at least when I was growing up, it was certain parts of Atlanta that if you went into and you said, what up, folk, you would get that same response. So that element had made its way from Midwest, whatever, down to the South back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. Wow. Yes, yeah. I had no.
Because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, yeah. You can't say that shit in Chicago.
Oh, no, not at all.
St. Louis either, I think. I don't think you can say that shit in St. Louis either.
I think it's wherever. Okay, what is it's the Blackstone Rangers, and I forget the other crew. It's gang related or whatever neighborhood. I forget, but
was it? I think it was BGD. Black Gangster Disciples.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know which one is which. I know. I found out that if you tilt your hat one way, like to the left, that's one crew. If your hat is tilted to the other way, that's the other crew. I don't know which one is which. So I kept my hat straight, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or straight backwards.
Because I ain't no gangster. I ain't no gangster. I ain't got no gangster in me.
No, not at all. Nah, I played basketball and played music.
I drink tea out of branded mugs.
Right. Yes, exactly. So, yeah. Speaking of, so folks, we just giving a peek behind the curtain. I've had such a hectic week and day. My wife just moments ago was chasing both the toddler and the dog around the house, yelling and screaming like a mad woman, that someone might get choked today. Like, please.
She wasn't saying who specifically would get choked. Just somebody. She was in a choking a motherfucker kind of mood.
And I don't think it would have been the dog or the child. I was looking out for myself. Like, hey, be easy. You know, because out of everybody, I'm the one that could take it. So,
look, she look at you and say, "I'm from a small town called Choke a Nigga Out, and you making me homesick."
Homesick, God. So she took them both to the dog park to expend some energy. But it's been crazy like that. Like it's I don't know what it is. For those who have, if you haven't been keeping up with the show, keeping up with these conversations that we have, I got a dog for the family over the holidays. Full breed German Shepherd. He was 2.5 months when we got him. He is now 4 months. And damn near as big as a full grown dog. He is a real and got puppy energy. So you have to do stuff with him. We're training him. We're still working, but he's still a puppy. So he's still doing, and he'll eat damn near anything. Okay. But he loves tackling the 4-year-olds. So they have this thing back and forth where one of your cameras is stuck. Your forward camera is stuck, Mike. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Oh, wow. That was, okay. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Mike, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Technical difficulties, folks. There you go. All right. I don't know how much you heard or whatever. I looked up and you had to look like, I was like,
I'm like, mother.
He's either intently listening or stuck. One of the two. I didn't know Mike smoked weed.
It was stuck and then it just dropped.
Oh shit. I've had that look on my face a few times. But in any case, so I forgot what I was saying. She took them to the dog park to, burn some energy or whatever. Okay. So all that to say, I don't know what we're talking about today. I got one subject. I got one thing that was just funny to me. On the day that we're recording this, it's Saturday. This evening, the premiere of Wendy Williams' biopic drops, as well as her What the Mess documentary, back to back on is it Lifetime? I believe it's on Lifetime.
It's one of those girl channels.
I think it's Lifetime. Last week it was Salt and Pepa, which we could talk about that because my God, it was good, but the pettiness of leaving Spinderella out is kind of weird. You know what I mean?
I didn't see it, and I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, Spin had came out and had said something about how they just kind of shook her off, just in general. And I'm like, how do you can't do that, right? Like, she was a part of Salt and Pepa, right? When I remember being young growing up and, you do the thing like, which one would you date or which one you like? And my whole crew was like, Spin.
Spinderella, right. Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, Spin. So it's like, you can't leave her out.
Yeah, it's really weird because I guess what they've been saying about it. First of all, I enjoyed the mini movie, the movie. It was cool to see them tell their story from their perspective, from their point of view, their own way. That was cool. But again, back on as far as leaving Spinderella out of the narrative, she has somebody, she's represented in the film, but like a minimum, like she, you know what I'm saying? Like she almost like she wasn't very important to the group at all. It's how it comes across.
Which is crazy to me. And I remember reading something, because I haven't watched it, but I remember reading something where Salt was having issues with them making the joint because they wanted to talk about her husband and her marriage and all of that. And she was like, nope.
She wanted to keep that completely out.
Yeah, she shut that down. And then it's a connection, or as the story goes, I don't know how true it is, between Spin, Salt and Pepa, and Wendy Williams. The story is that Salt and Pepa, because they had that other chick that was the DJ first before Spinderella.
But that was the first Spinderella.
Yeah. So she was out and they were looking for a DJ to replace her. And they were looking at Wendy Williams. They offered it up to Wendy Williams and she turned it down and moved on to become, the Wendy Williams of media that she is today. Right. But that's how the story goes. I don't know how true it is. I've heard Wendy Williams tell some version of that story, and I've seen some version of that story told before. And they only vary slightly different. The variance between the two is only slight. So there's probably some truth there, but who knows?
It was interesting to see them, like, I understand you reveal what you want people to know, but if you're telling your story, tell your story. You know what I mean? So to try, to erase some portions feels a bit weird. And what I took away from it is watching it, Herbie Lugbug, who was the producer, who initially put the group together, right? His relationship with Pepa, according to the story, was he tried to minimize her role as well, especially early on. And it seemed like later on, Salt and Pepa, or both of them, kind of did to Spinderella what Herb was doing to them. You know what I mean? That's what it kind of felt like. That's what I got from it. I was like, that's weird. If you didn't like it done to you, why would you do that to, you know what I mean? Granted, she wasn't a founding member from the very, very beginning of the group. Okay. She came in.
One album. She wasn't on one album.
Right. But she toured. You know what I'm saying? She learned, she practiced and learned her craft. I understand when she came in, she wasn't a very experienced DJ, but she took it seriously enough to where she's actually pretty decent DJ these days, right? And she's on, like, has vocals on records, like her verse on she has a verse on What a Man. She has a verse on what's the line? When she be like, well, that's not it. It's in What a Man. That's Spinderella's verse. That's one of the most memorable lines in the song. That and Shoop. I think she's in Shoop also, right? Is she in Shoop?
I think so, yeah.
I think she's in Shoop. I'm not sure. I know the one of the producers, Red Hot Lover Tone, is on that record. On the last verse, when he says something about 6 inches to a yard, have you screaming like a retard?
Which now you can't say.
You can't say that.
They would be canceled for that lyric if they put that record out now.
But in any case, all that to say, it was just really weird to kind of see, to see that play out. Like, oh wow, they really they rewrote history in this film here. Like, Spin didn't matter. You didn't matter.
It's weird to see people do that, right? Like, especially with, folks that you grew up listening to and watching or whatever. And then you deal with them as you see them behaving like adult people or grown people or human beings, however you want to label that. But it's weird, right? Because to us, they're one unit. There is no separate people. And then, I don't know. It's kind of like when Tretch and Vinny were beefing. It's like, that's weird. Yeah. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they figured it out. I mean, I guess they all the groups that we grew up listening to went through that at some point. EPMD had a big split up and they figured it out and got back together. Same thing with Naughty by Nature. And, it's human nature. I mean, and especially getting in the game at the ages that they got, and they were still kids.
Yeah, I mean, we don't think about that. They were like 17, 18 years old.
Right. They were still, still figuring life out and learning to be adults in a multi-million-dollar industry, right? So, I get it. But to be 30 years in the game and still have a outlook like, nah, you don't really matter. That's crazy.
They're straight on some fuck you, girl.
Yeah, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. All them 30 years don't mean nothing. Nope.
We went way down a rabbit hole about Salt and Pepa, but that wasn't even the point.
No.
We were just talking about the Wendy Williams joint.
Yes.
And Wendy's what, 56 at this point? Almost 60 years old.
She on the better part of 50.
And she's just talking now. She just she had the option of taking some of that to the grave with her and talking, and now she's just talking.
Now here's the weird thing about it. So okay, I don't. There might be some people in the inner circles that knew this already. I don't know, but she exposed that she had a one-night stand with Method Man of Wu-Tang. Which, hold on, I'm trying to open my computer. I can't multitask, apparently.
I'm trying to get the image of that out of my mind, is what I'm trying to do.
I'll tell you what, if you hadn't heard this already, allow me to let you hear Wendy in her own words as she talked to DJ Sus one time. Shout out to Sus. What up, boy?
Something else I wanted to talk about, but go ahead.
With the only thing I did, I smoked a blunt with with Method Man, while I gave him a bath, and it was a one-night stand. And
what?
And he'll deny it, maybe not.
That wasn't in the movie.
It wasn't in the movie. It wasn't in the movie because Method Man is still very angry at me.
What? The Freudian slips of Redman is that's because I'm like, if that's coming up next, but gee.
I don't know, for being me.
Why is Method Man angry at Wendy Williams?
And that's what irritates. Like, look, here's the thing. I'm not a Wendy Williams fan. I never have been. I respect her hustle. But what bugs me is the whole I don't know why he's mad at me. I don't know. Just me being me. Like, come on, stop it. You know why he mad.
You absolutely know why. For those who don't know, I remember very clearly she exposed while on radio here in New York that Method Man's wife was going through chemo at the time. And that pissed him off.
As well it should have.
Right. Again, it came out and it was in the media, and then Wendy Williams said it first, and then it spread out to the rest of the media outlets. And he talked about it. I remember Meth coming up to the radio station in New York where she worked at the time, was WBLS, coming up to see her about it. And like he was really pissed off, but Meth in his own words.
It was done by, I'm going to give you, Wendy Williams did it. All right, her. She's the one that did it. You can attack me any way you want to. I'm in the entertainment business, but you don't attack my family, man. My wife ain't had nothing to do with that, man. Had all nothing to do with that. You did not have to do that. Her family members didn't even know she was sick. We still live in our same community where we used to live at. The people that lived around her didn't know she was sick till you said that shit. And everybody looking at her, staring at her. You know how uncomfortable that makes somebody feel, especially somebody that's going through chemo? Stupid ass bitch. Bad enough she didn't have her hair on her head. You think she wants people staring at her, pointing at her, talking about how sick she is?
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said, right? Like, you don't come for somebody's family, right? Like, you don't come for people's family like that. But I mean, look, let's be honest. She's always been a bit of a mess.
Right. I doubt if it was ever malicious. It was more like, trying to be, the whole spilling of tea is because of Wendy Williams. You know what I mean? Like the gossiping, she's always had an ear for stuff about entertainers and people tell her stuff, you know what I mean? And she told it on the air, like, and she's always had this no holds barred type delivery, that it was entertaining. And you always felt like you were hearing something you wasn't supposed to hear.
Well, but then she can't throw up her hands and go, I don't know why he's mad. I don't know. Right, stop it. Stop it.
Coy. Right.
So it's this, I don't remember who it was I was talking to, but I've said this thing a couple of times. I might have even said it on the show. To your point of you don't think it was malicious. So people tend to think of behavior in two ways. I meant to do it or I didn't mean to do it. I think there's a third way. I intended to not do it. Right? So that third way means you move in such a manner that your behavior, you are governing your behavior in a way that your intentions don't harm others. So you're not just out there doing things and then something happens and you go, oh, I meant to shit on you, or no, I'm sorry, I shit on you and I didn't mean to do it. Right? What was your intent? Did you intend to not? Right? So she could spill tea. She could do all of that. She could do the entertainment stuff, but she can't then go after his family and put his family's business out there and then say, oh, I wasn't malicious. I didn't intend to do it. Well, you kind of did. You can still do your gig and move in a way where you don't hurt people's families.
Right. I have to say, I'm a fan of Wendy. I'm a fan of Method Man as well, but I'm a fan of, and how she was able to move how she moved to the position that she's in right now.
Right.
And I grew up in New York City. I listened to her. You know what I mean? I remember hearing her on the Jodeci album, doing the sketches on Jodeci album.
I don't remember that.
She did. She was on Kiss FM back then, and she did like the interlude with Jodeci on Diary of a Mad Band album, I believe it is.
Okay. All right.
Any case, she represents New York City radio. You get what I'm saying? Like she was that. She put her stamp on how radio was done in New York. And I always found, I've always found it entertaining and never quite nasty. People didn't like her if they were talking. If you were one of the entertainers that she talked about, one, you wanted to be talked about, but two, if she exposed some information about you that you didn't want out there like that, it kind of is. I don't know. You kind of handle it how you handle it. You know what I'm saying? Because in all these years, she's not gone nowhere.
No. She look. She's a media giant at this point.
Right.
I worked for Fox when her show got launched, and I think we were one of the test markets for that show. And I remember being in a meeting, and I'll just say it. We were in a meeting. It was a bunch of white people.
Okay.
And none of them had ever heard of Wendy Williams. They didn't know who she was, and they were like, "Oh, we're getting this new show, the Wendy Williams show. It's it's probably going to be terrible, da 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 da." And then I said, "Oh, I'm very familiar with who Wendy Williams is." I was like, "It probably will be a very entertaining show. However, stand by the phones because some people gonna be calling because she's gonna say some stuff that in the South, we're still the Bible Belt, and it's still some touchy, sensitive feelings about how you say things and do things on TV here." We got a few calls, not a lot, but the show blew up like right out the gate. It just exploded. And God, is she still doing that show? She's still on TV, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? I don't know what season this is, but she's been, all these years, she transitioned from radio to TV successfully. Everybody wants that. She did it.
I'll put it to you this way. I don't know what season it is. I'm sure we could easily look it up, but I left Fox in 2011. and she had been on for several years before I left. We're in 2021 now. So
Correct.
she's been on TV for a long time.
Long time. So, in any case, I'll tell her when rest in peace, Frankie Crocker, another New York radio legend. I mean, not just New York, a radio god. If you're into radio, but definitely here in New York City, Frankie Crocker was a giant. And Wendy had beef with him. She aired him out on the radio in New York one time.
Speaking of beef and airing out, did you hear her go after the Judge Mathis?
No.
Oh, she went after Judge Mathis and he clapped back. It was fantastic. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah. And more recently, Dionne Warwick clapped that. Like, keep my name out your mouth. That's Dionne Warwick. I mean, you know.
Was it Judge Joe Brown or was it Judge Mathis? It was one of them judges.
Yeah,
no, it was Judge Mathis.
Yeah, another Wendy exclusive or initial. I remember back when the R. Kelly tapes started leaking, and she told a story of how someone brought her a copy, and they watched it riding around in a van in New York City, so she wouldn't be stationary watching child porn, or allegedly child porn. But then she went on the air and described what she saw on several days. There's a couple of different tapes, and one that the one that, like, initially it was just kind of tongue in cheek because you couldn't tell how Wendy Williams explained it. You wasn't sure how the girls looked young, but you couldn't tell if they were under 18 or not. They just looked like young women, right? Until the video of him allegedly urinating on that girl.
Oh boy.
and that's the one where the temperature changed and Wendy's presentation about completely changed. She was crying and it was all types, she was, Anyway, shout out to Wendy Williams.
I found a clip of the audio. They were on radio. She came at him on radio and he went back at her. It's long, so I'm not going to play it. I'll link to it below so you guys can check it out. But she thought he was finna come on. She was just going to come at him and he was going to sit there and be like, kind of keeping his tongue because he didn't want to lose his gig or whatever. No. He was like, you want to get real? Let's get real. And just went in.
Yeah. And then of course there's the infamous Whitney Houston.
You got audio playing.
I do? Oh, sorry. I said, of course, there's the infamous Whitney Houston audio. I would play it, but we'll just put a link up. That one also, because Whitney lived in Jersey, so she could hear. I can hear you. I hear you talking about me. I know you there. It doesn't help that Whitney sounded like she might have been high at the time, but that's all.
And as polished as Whitney was a hood chick.
Oh yeah,
Whitney was a hood chick.
The polish was just for the public to see.
She get hood on your ass.
She was a Jersey girl for real. So anyway, we're wrapped up.
So what about there are two things that I want to touch on.
Okay.
One is Miss Chloe.
Oh,
what is her last name? Chloe Bailey.
Yes.
Have you seen that video?
Yes.
Let's share this with our viewing audience. Let's see if we can pull this up here.
Yeah.
Let's just refresh so it starts from the beginning.
We just talked about her the other week too. So I guess this is the dirty old man portion of the show, folks.
Yes, it is. Kudos to her for her lighting.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we got to stop there because YouTube has probably already nicked us for playing that much of a record.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing. So I did a little bit of reading up because I am unfamiliar with Chloe and Haley, I think is her sister's name. Mm-hmm. They're in a group. Mm-hmm. They've always had a combined Instagram.
Okay.
And recently they decided, for whatever reason, nobody really knows what the reason is. I'm sure they know, obviously, but for whatever reason, they decided to separate them.
I mean, I can understand why, because, you know, although they're sisters and they are a group, at some point you don't want to be joined at the hip all the time.
Fair enough.
I get it.
Right?
I get it.
Well, it feels like it's probably some sibling rivalry or a sibling competition to see who could get to 1 million or more faster. Well, one Miss Chloe broke the internet. What was that? 2 weeks ago? By doing that whatever that challenge is, the drop it challenge or whatever.
Bust it. Let's bust it.
Made me feel like a dirty old man. I felt wrong for looking at that video. So she hit 1 million. Her sister has hit 620 some odd thousand. But as a thank you to her fans, she put up the video that we just saw.
Yeah. Thank you.
It feel real thirsty. It just feel real thirsty. Like you're doing too much, little girl.
It's called a thirst trap. And yes, it is. I mean,
no, hold on. Okay.
I don't think she's doing anything differently than other girls her age have
Not
done.
at all. She's not doing anything differently at all. But I mean, you get shit like this.
Yeah.
You get shit like this. I mean,
come on now. Let's be real. Sex sells.
But it just feels. I guess I'm to quote from one Mr. DC Glenn, the brain supreme of tag team. I turned into an old nigga real fast. I guess I'm an old nigga now, right? Because I just feel like, come on, little girl, stop.
She's a
Put
grown
your clothes
woman.
on.
She's a grown woman.
She is a grown woman, but goddamn, she don't look like a little girl to me.
Listen. I told a story on the show about old friend of mine that in her college years went through what she herself described as a hoe phase. Listen, apparently that's a thing. And I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but it kind of may resemble it a little bit. But in any case, she's discovering her womanly powers or whatever. I don't know what to call it, but
feminine powers of seduction.
There it is.
Look, God bless her. It's entertainment. It is what it is. You do what you do. You grow your fan base. Sure, fine, whatever.
It's a business, and I mean, at some point, she may do some. She may end up doing some modeling as well. You know what I mean? If she hasn't already done it, you know what I mean? If she were younger, if she were 16, hell yeah, that's inappropriate.
If I were her daddy,
mm-hmm.
I would say, baby girl, stand on your talent and your abilities, not your booty. If I were a daddy, that's what I would say. And so I looked through some of the comments on that video. And I don't know how old the women were who were commenting, actresses and different people. You go, girl. I wish they would say the same thing to her. Like, you are a beautiful girl, no doubt about it.
But they're looking at it as empowerment and holding, you know what I'm saying? And I get to show you what I want you to see.
But you don't get to control what the reaction is to it. Exactly. You don't get to control the type of attention that you get from it. I know you would like to. I know you would like to stick your ass out and your boobs out and then say, well, you need to respect me as a talented thinking individual.
Listen,
that ain't what you showed me. You showed me your ass.
Listen, I understand it from both sides of the coin, right? There's the side of, stand on your talents. Don't show you ain't got to show your ass, really. You know what I mean? But at the same time, hey, listen, it's a competitive market here. She got some ass to show. Hey, it's going to help sell some records. Okay, here we go. But women go through the same thing that are not entertainers, just putting on a form-fitting dress. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And the type of attention, even if it's not really revealing, the type of attention and comments and, wolf whistles and all types of shit that they get just from wearing a form fit, you know what I'm saying? Anything. So, listen.
All right.
You can't control people's reactions, obviously. You can only control what you can control. And she's in control of it. Now, to your point, would I want my daughter, if you know what I'm saying, to do something like that? Nah.
I agree with you.
However, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I wouldn't, I would say the same thing. But then I will also go, hey, if they're of age, you're grown, you make your own decisions, be careful, and make sure people people understand what you want them to understand about you.
I was gonna make a T.I. joke there, but I'm not. I'm just gonna leave that alone. No, I agree with you, dude. I do. And I think I made the point several shows ago. Once they grow up and become grown people, they can do whatever they want, and it's nothing you can really do about it.
This is true.
Some women do get wolf whistles and cat calls no matter what they wear or whatever. Mm-hmm. But let's be careful not to throw the garbage behavior individuals in with the rest of the individuals, right? So there are a group of men who are going to catcall and whistle a woman in a burlap sack with her drawers on her head and paint on her face. Like, it don't matter. They go catcall and whistle. But then there are a group of men who won't unless that's what's presented to them, right? So if you show up and you present sex as, this is the first point of contact with me as an individual, this is what I am giving you to understand me as a human being, and a dude cat calls and whistles at you for that, you can't be mad at that, because that's the type of attention that you're inviting. In fact, it was a comedian said, if you don't want to be thought of as a hoe, don't wear the outfit. Who was that? Was that Chris Rock? It was something like that.
Chris Rock, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I hope she doesn't get a bunch of negative attention because of this. I hope that people still look at her and take her for her talent and don't minimize her as an individual, as a human being. But based on what I've seen, that minimization is soon to follow.
Listen,
it's coming.
One of the best to ever do it, Janet Jackson, didn't start off naked, right? As she got older, the older she got, the more she took off, right? But even then, we never saw her in a bikini, right?
No, and it didn't feel thirsty with Janet.
Right.
It felt empowering with Janet. It felt like Janet was discovering her feminine sexuality and expressing it. It felt like that.
Right.
It didn't feel hoish.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing, it just, and then you look at like a Brandy. Brandy had an amazing career. I don't think you can find a picture of Brandy in a bikini or anything like that.
Well, Brandy ain't have no body. She ain't have no ass for a long time. So she ain't have nothing to show. Sorry, Brandy. I'm just saying, you can't show what you ain't got. So there's that.
Oh my God.
She had this amazing voice. And that's what she had to work.
I feel so bad for her now. But Mama, I want to show my booty. You ain't got no booty, baby.
You ain't got no booty, girl. Just work with what you got. You got God
put
bless
on
you
them
with a
overalls
voice.
and that cute hat and call it a day.
Right. Meanwhile, Ashanti. Okay, never mind. Let's move on.
Well, I mean, some people got to compensate for the lack of talent.
She was talented. Ashanti is talented. She is a great performer, good-looking woman. And even she didn't dress. Even she wasn't naked in her videos.
I honestly don't remember. I remember she was beautiful. I remember I liked some of her songs, but
She, yeah. I won't. Let me substitute Ashanti for Cassie. Even Cassie still kept her clothes on.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Cassie can't sing. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. That's why she had 2 records.
Not 2 albums, 2 records.
2 records. 2 records and a powerful boyfriend.
Right. Didn't she date Diddy or something?
I'm just saying.
All right. Oh, boy. There was a whole lot of things that just rushed into my brain. And I'm like, I don't want Diddy mad at me.
Listen, he knew she couldn't sing. Stop it. You think he didn't know she couldn't sing?
I don't want Diddy mad at me. We might try to get on Revolt one day. So
I'm not. That's not saying anything about Diddy. That's just saying his amazing talent to shine, to make an artist shine, regardless of their abilities.
I'm talking about the jokes that are happening in my head that I'm not letting out of my mouth. Oh, God. Anyway, let's move on.
By the way, did you catch the subtle shine jab? Any case, moving on.
Oh, I did. I was just like,
Oh, boy. Okay, moving on.
We surely could talk about this night and day.
Yeah.
I must be dreaming if I think I could tell some of these jokes and not get in trouble.
That's funny. Yeah, see.
People gonna be Googling.
Yeah.
They're like, what is he talking about? They're gonna be Googling, trying to figure it out. I'm not gonna say. So let's just move on. Let's move on to another powerful music mogul, Rick Ross. So they're accusing Rick Ross of colorism.
Oh, yeah.
From something that happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, because there's video of it. There's video of it. And the it certainly looks that way.
So I have the video. I want to run the video, but let's set it up.
Okay.
So Rick Ross was a judge on a VH1 competition called Signed.
Mm-hmm.
And basically singers, rappers, they come in. It's like American Idol, but for singers and rappers. Rick Ross was a judge. The Dream was a judge. Who else? And Lenny S., a music executive. Mm-hmm. So in the clip, there are 2 sisters singing. One sings at one time, one sings at another time. They both use a Rick Ross track, the music.
Correct.
I think they put their own lyrics and own melodies or whatever to those tracks. Right. One sister was selected and the other one wasn't selected. So I'm going to leave it there because anything else will sway your decision or sway your thought process about what happened in this video. So let's share, make sure the sound is shared. Let's go full screen on this BR.
Let's roll that videotape.
Just Ricky, you got me for the whole night. Baby, we gon' get it right. Oh, yeah.
Your future bright, shorty, your future bright.
The music was bright.
Smartest move of her life.
I knew the song Boss Vibes that I did was going to get Ross's attention because I went to his past and I redid something and I put my own little twist to it and he liked it. My whole goal of this whole competition is to be the first lady of MMG. That's what I want. I can look this good and I can get a lot of attention, but I use my valedictorian mind skills and I make sure I take care of
I've never
my
heard that
business.
word used
Me
that
and
way before, by the
another person
way.
had the same beat.
Yeah.
I'm really curious who has the other beat. She has the same beat.
Oh, Kaya.
Kaya.
So y'all be able to hear the difference in R&B and hip hop.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Kaya and I, we had the same beat. I wasn't trying to be mean or catty or anything. I just had to put it out there because I had to save myself.
Kaya, you better deliver, Kaya. I believe in you, Kaya.
Boy, you can have my heart and all my love. I give you that because I ain't to put the judge. And I don't need nobody telling me.
I think it was her performance, her vocal.
Yo. That wasn't the best platform for your voice.
Nope.
You have a unique voice. And Britt did sound better than yours.
All right.
They like
Okay.
mine's best.
So, face value, light-skinned chick went up first, sings the song. She's showing a lot more tail and cleavage and all that good stuff. And she has the beat, and then she threw that shot up. Oh, somebody else got the same beat, but you'll hear the difference. She's already planted, she's playing chess with them.
Yes.
The other sister comes up and sings the song. I think her performance, vocal performance was better, but I don't think the song was as strong as the first sister that went up. So
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think her vocal performance was way better. She had way better vocals. I'm not sure that the song was, I'm not sure if the song was as strong. I would have to hear more of the song just to really, but from the clips that I heard, the first chick wasn't named Just something, whatever it was. Her singing over top of the track, she didn't sound as good as the track, but I think the way the arrangement of it might have been a little better. Her performance of it though sucked. She sounded terrible. The dark-skinned sister sounded way better. So for the other to say that wasn't the best. I mean, I don't know. That's why. But
All
just looking at it off of face value, they chose the light-skinned chick over the dark-skinned chick.
So I think the first chick's name was just Brittany or something like that.
Okay.
She sounded like she was out of breath. She was out of key.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like the song was that strong. Honestly, I didn't feel like either one of the songs was that strong, but
right.
I didn't feel like the song was that strong. I don't really like if she auditioned for me with that, I would have said, thank you. Have a nice day. I wouldn't have.
You know what else I think it is too? Again, to the first sister's credit, she played on his ego because she put references to Rick Ross in it, because he calls himself the boss or whatever. So she has a line inferring boss in the lyrics of it. You know what I'm saying? So she played chess and played on his ego to get him excited about, oh yeah, this is, and then the other sister who now she kind of beat her to the, I think really she just beat her to the punch.
Now, I think you said it 100% right when you said get him excited.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way he could have listened to both of them sing and thought that the what is her name? Kaya.
Kaya, yeah.
Was worse than Brittany.
Right.
But Brittany, the way she was dressed, the way she put it out there, she got him excited.
Yeah.
The other chick did not get him excited. And let me say this for the record. I think Kaya looked better. I think she was a prettier girl. I think she was a much prettier girl. I think she was a prettier girl and a much better singer. Now, do I think this was colorism? Nope.
No?
Don't think it was colorism at all.
You don't think all that plays into it though?
Nope.
the fact that just listening to the song, you can't tell who's who, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the visuals, like I said, what's Britney? Is him just Britney?
Mm-hmm.
Calling him out, and and the way she performed it was a little more appeasing than Kaya. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I could see, honestly, how it looks, and go, yeah, it does kind of look it does look like you overlooked the dark skin system just cause. You know what I mean?
I see where people could make that assumption.
Or the fact that he wasn't even open to look at her because of what he's already saw.
Oh, God. Does he own any television channels or anything that we might one day want to get on?
Ross?
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to get in Wingstop, maybe. I don't know.
Look, here's what I think, and I'll just be real with it. I think he looked at the first chick and felt like he could probably smash easier. I think that's what it was about. I don't think it was about her complexion at all. I think people got that wrong. I think he got the decision wrong. I think, like I said, the other chick is I think she was prettier and more talented. But I don't think that's what he was thinking about or looking at. And I will say this. I do agree with him that her voice isn't for that song.
Okay.
She needed Diane Warren level writing and production. She has that kind of voice. She's got like that Whitney Houston big voice.
Yeah.
And to put it on that type of record, I'm like, okay. I mean, that's easy for her. So I would have loved to hear her do something bigger that fit her voice. So I do kind of agree with him on that probably wasn't the best use of her voice. But I don't agree with him that the other chick did it better. Like, no.
I think the issue is that race is so ingrained. You know what I'm saying? It's under the skin of everything.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But so even on a subconscious level, he may have gone with the light-skinned chick just cause and not really realize that's what he's doing.
Even if that's the case, though, that's difficult to prove without him speaking what happens in his subconscious or what. First, he would have to analyze the operation of his mind when making those decisions. Then he would have to be honest with the world about the operation of his mind when making those decisions. And then people could say definitively that's colorism. But everything else is just an assumption based on what you think, right? Because you see color that way, you're assuming he sees color that way. And I don't mean you specifically.
No,
I mean you inclusive of all individuals who would say that it's colorism. But, because you view it that way, you're viewing his viewing, how he looks through his lens. You're looking at him and putting him through your lens. So you're assigning to him behavior that you have yourself. I didn't see colorism. If I'd have saw it, and the only reason I even consider colorism is because other people assign that to it. If I'd have just seen that clip stand alone, I would have said he's a goddamn poor judge of talent. But I would have never said he was, some borderline like black racist type shit. It's like, you suck at picking talent.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think race is a part of everything, even if we don't admit it. You know what I mean?
Enough.
And even on like I said, even on the subconscious, I mean, the same argument is made when cops interact with us and white folks. Same situation where I could be speeding, get pulled over, get a ticket, where someone else, a white person, same age or whatever case, same car, speeding, get pulled over and get a warning. And you wondered, what was the underlying, what was the difference if we have the same exact temperament have completely different experiences because of what's under the skin.
But it's impossible. And I don't disagree with you, but just playing devil's advocate and looking at it from the other side and really kind of putting myself in those shoes. As you were saying it, I was like, someone could easily look at me and say, you treat the dark-skinned people at your job better than the light-skinned people. How do I defend that? Right? If I say, no, I don't, this person just sucks a bag of dicks and this person doesn't. If they're not privy to the whole picture, all they see is that one little part and they make a judgment call on that one little part, which makes sense if they see that, right? So if I say, no, that's not the case. They believe what they think they saw. How do I defend that? How do I defend the operation of my mind that no one is privy to but me? All I can tell you is, well, that's not true. That wasn't my motivation. That wasn't the motivation behind this person getting a raise and this person not, or, this person getting some type of favorable treatment and this person not. Right. On some level, I feel bad for people who have to defend that shit. Because it's like, Now, that said, if we look at the full breadth of your interaction with people, and more times than not, it shows up that there's favoritism to one group over the other group, then you have enough empirical evidence at that point to say, dude, whether you think you're doing it or you don't think you're doing it, something going on where you favor this group over the other, because we can lay out your behavior and show you over time. But the internet got all over him from one clip of him making a bad damn decision about who can sing better.
I'd be curious to know, did he sign either one of them?
I'd be curious to know if he smashed Just Britney. If he just smashed Just Britney.
That was the name of it, Just Smash.
If she used her valedictorian mindset.
I wasn't even gonna touch it.
But he did, I'm sure.
I wasn't even gonna go there. Because therein lie, there also is a saying amongst black folks about light-skinned people. Light-skinned people you ever heard the term, you acting light-skinned? No. I've not heard that term. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious as a heart attack. I've never heard that.
Oh my goodness. That's a thing. The colorism, that is a thing. Where light-skinned, some light-skinned people are treated like, the airheads or thought to be, like blondes.
Jesus.
Yeah. You acting real light-skinned right now. That's what that means. Yeah.
That's just goddamn awful. That's awful. Oh.
Yeah. So, or my sons would do that. They would do when they would take selfies. They'd do their quote unquote light skin pose, and it's always a weird looking raised eye gaze into the camera.
Your children are of you, sir.
Hey, listen, I've dealt with some pretty dense light-skinned folks, so my experience. Not all of them. There's one that comes to mind that worked with me on a show. I won't say her name, but ooh, you acting light-skinned? If you acting light-skinned was a person, Lord.
So names and events in this story are changed to protect the guilty and me.
Okay.
There was someone that I worked with some time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
I'm not even going to say gender of this person.
Okay.
This person was a light-skinned black person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and I'm not saying this for every light-skinned black person. Don't hit me with the all police and every police. I know it's not all or everybody. Let me say that right off the top. This particular individual behaved in a manner where you could tell, and I'm speaking of the full breadth of my experience with this person, not one or two instances. You could tell two things. One, they definitely had an issue with authority. Mm-hmm. And two, they benefited from a level of privilege because of their complexion. Mm. They didn't want to learn. They didn't want to work hard. They worked very hard at trying to get other people to do their work.
Okay.
And this person was a little bit advanced in age. And I could tell this has been your experience your entire career, that you're fairly attractive. And people did things for you. Now, that shit didn't work on me. So, right. So I spent most of my time calling them to the mat on shit. So I've never heard that term, but I think I understand the term. And yes, they were a little kind of, all of the lights were on, but nobody was at home. It's a goddamn few sandwiches shy of a picnic, if you know what I mean.
I get it.
I changed that up pretty good. Hopefully I won't get in a lot of trouble for that.
Good job.
Hopefully it's a few people sitting back going, is he talking about me? If it's at least 5 of you who think that I'm talking about you, you need to get your shit together. First off, that's yeah. And secondly, I did my job well.
As they say, hurt dog or holler.
Oh.
Speaking of hurt dog, I'm going to call my wife and check and see if she choked anybody. As we wrap up this segment, this episode, we appreciate you all.
Hang on real quick. Mm-hmm. Let's do 2 quick updates and then we'll completely wrap.
Bet.
1, Dr. Dre is still recovering.
Do I need to get the music out for this one? I'm sorry.
No. We don't need the music. It's because it has nothing to do with his wife.
I like playing the Young and the Loveless. Okay, all right, fine.
Well, I mean, it is a lack of love, so yes, you can play the music.
There you go.
He just likes the song.
I do.
So he is recovering. By all accounts, he's doing pretty well. Him and his daddy done fell out.
Oh man, that's Young versus Young.
Yep.
Damn.
One Mr. Theodore Young has come out and said, we ain't got no relationship. I ain't talked to Dre since his granddaddy died. Wow. And I'm just imagining that's what his daddy sounds like, but I'm sure he probably doesn't.
Right.
But yeah, Dre had no comment, but yeah, daddy is like, yeah, that dude don't talk to me. My other sons talk to me. And he doesn't. But Dre wasn't raised by his father. Dre was raised by his grandmother. So.
By his grandmother. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Listen,
I feel his pain as a father. Like if I don't call my kids will never call me. It's just, I call them. They're excited to hear from me. They talk. My daughter, and she will not stop. She just has a bunch of stuff to say. She unloads. They love me. I love them. But if I don't pick up the phone and call them, I will not hear from my children.
and that is a thing they won't get out until probably 30. I don't know. Like that's
it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Daddy is a thankless job.
Oh man.
And Tyrese probably feels like husband is a thankless job. Because he about to not be one. We mentioned was a couple of weeks ago that he and his wife are getting divorced. I think she filed. She's asking for $20,000 a month in child support. He's like, Tyrese is like, that's too much goddamn money.
Right. $20,000 a month?
$20,000 a month in child support. We ain't
That
even
ain't
heard
spousal
about
support.
alimony yet, because you know she gonna hit him for alimony.
Yeah, he gonna have to do Fast and Furious 10 through 50. It's gonna just be Tyrese.
Them dudes gonna be 75. They're gonna be fast and furious. It's gonna be old and slow. They're gonna have tricked out wheelchairs.
He'll be mildly upset. Not Fast and Furious. This shit is mildly upset. Kind of antankerous.
Sluggish and grumpy. That'll
Just
be
grumpy. Right.
But yeah, she's going after him $20,000 a month in child support. He's not super happy about that, but he is convinced that he's gonna get his wife back. So on Kirk Franklin and his wife's 25th anniversary,
yeah,
Tyrese commented on a post that they made, talking about, here was the post. Happy anniversary. Magic, and more magic. Dear Samantha, this was supposed to be us. Remember the Franklins was our marriage goals. Smiling. I'm going to get her back. Watch me, I think.
Shout out to him for putting it out there. Say what you want. Say what your intentions are. Shout out to him. But, boy.
I don't think that works.
No, I mean,
I don't think that will work.
Especially,
in fact, I think the more he does it, the less you'll want to get back with him.
Probably. We don't know the reason why they're getting a divorce.
Well,
I want to say I heard allegedly that he was unfaithful. Allegedly,
I haven't heard that.
I think that was,
I wouldn't be super surprised, but I haven't heard that.
I'm not saying he was, not saying he wasn't. The I'm going to get you back thing, I don't know if that's a. I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. I could feel that way, but I ain't putting it out in the public.
No,
I ain't gonna.
It should be a private thing. Look, kudos to him for wanting his wife back, wanting to keep his marriage together, wanting to keep his family together. I think more people should do that, right? Argument, because it was like they had a 3-hour, what he revealed was they had some 3-hour, what he calls it, an intense conversation. It was probably a kick down, yelling argument. And she
if you ain't know the bitch, why she got your number? You don't give nobody your number. Why she got it?
No, baby. I gave her Roman's number. She was interested in Roman. See, I'm Tyrese.
The look on my face right here. There's a joke fired. There was a joke cocked and ready. Ain't gonna do it.
But they had that argument. She called the cops on him.
Ooh.
He left the house because, what he says is multiple public incidents involving police brutality and racially motivated killings of unarmed African-American people is why he left the house.
No, I get it.
I ain't mad at him. Right.
Yeah,
I would have left too.
Yeah. You call the cops.
Y'all got to find me to kill me.
Right. You got to catch me. I'm still fast, furious.
I'm fast and scared, goddammit.
Fast and scared shitless. Let me get the fuck on.
So that was, the public stuff. He was accused of locking his wife and his daughter out of their house in Atlanta. And that probably, she was like, oh, you ain't gonna let me in the house? How about I'm gonna take that goddamn house? I'm gonna take your goddamn money. I'm gonna take your goddamn daughter, and I'm gonna take your goddamn peace of mind. Here these divorce papers. So kudos to him for trying to keep his family together, man. But
now, is this the same woman he had the daughter, his daughter with? Like, this has been going on for a while then, if that's the case. Because that was what he was crying about. They were in court some years ago.
I think it's the same woman. I'm not sure. So, I know that she filed in September of 2020, and it just came out a few weeks ago.
The I Just Want My Baby outburst that he had. I won't play the clip. I'm just saying that was a couple of years ago.
Please play the clip.
Oh, God. You. Ladies and gentlemen.
I just want my baby.
See, I wasn't gonna do it. But shit, since we here.
I just want my baby.
The trail off at the end is okay.
Oh, goddamn, that's so funny. I just want my baby. Oh, shit.
It's funny now, but people were concerned when that was going on. People was really concerned about the brother. Like he had a full-on breakdown in front of everybody on camera, and he did it to himself.
Look, I laugh because I think the placement of the clip in the Animaniacs, the juxtaposition of the seriousness of that situation with the silliness of the Animaniacs is just goddamn hilarious to me. I like things that are put together that way.
That shit funny.
That said, I understand his pain because I had my kids taken away from me. So I feel his pain in his situation, but the shit is still funny, goddamn. It's just still funny.
Yeah. Wish him luck. Let's see how it turns out. I think we already know he's it's not gonna really work out.
That is.
I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll have a change of heart and go, you know what? You weren't that bad. Just keep the bitches down to 3. And maybe we can have a deal here.
You can have all the women you want, but they gotta be 4s or less.
Right.
You can't have no 5s to 10s. I bet that would stop every dude in the world from cheating. You're like, what?
No, wait a minute. You see me? I can have any box I want as long as they ugly. Fine. Put some shades on. Wait, hey, listen, baby. Hey, listen. Let me tell you, my wife said it's okay, but you got to put this paper bag over your face. It's all right. It's all right. It's going to be all right. Did you wear protection? No, she did. Paper bag. That's right.
Dudes would be trying to do attractive math. They're like, oh, I had a threesome with 2 4s, so that was an 8.
It don't count. I had 4 1s. I have 4 1s. That was it. You know.
I was about to say I would do 10 1s, and then I was like, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Nope, wouldn't do that. All right. I think we can wrap now.
Yes, because you get to the point like and start ramping up, and I know the next few jokes is going to be over the line because I've been kind of pushing it and kind of trying to dance away from it a little bit. But the more we talk, it's like you got a best. I got to go over a little harder than the next, and then the next one go. See, I'm gonna just stop. So, hey, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and tell a friend. Follow us on all socials at Unpopin Show. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button, and help us grow this community of unpoppin' individuals.
The unpoppin' community.
The unpoppin' mindset. What is that, you may say? I once told a joke. I asked my wife, how do you keep a wife in suspense? Well, I'll tell you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.
Need a daily dose of jokes? Like, subscribe, smash the notification button, and you'll get jokes in your inbox basically every week.
Absolutely. Because we like cats. No, that's the wrong. God damn it.